I get it. It's no small feat. And trust me, I've been in the trenches with you, handling everything from executive tantrums over tablecloth colors to last minute speaker cancellations. Yeah, I've got some stories. I mean, I've I've even had an AV team digging around in a dumpster, but that story in itself is for another day. Remind me to tell you about it. But today, we really are going to focus on something that will make your life a whole lot easier. The questions you absolutely need to be asking your client to help them and essentially you avoid those hair pulling moments. Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Creating Powerful Impact. I'm your host, Shay Wheat, certified event producer and CEO of Grace and Ease Productions, where we help entrepreneurs turn events into powerful business growth tools, helping to reduce that infamous churn and increase retention, saving you time and money. Now, normally, this show is talking to the business owner, but today I wanted to talk to the team of the business owner. Whether you're tuning in as an OBM, an online business manager, an executive assistant, or a team member supporting any event planning the business is currently doing, or would like to be doing, or should be doing, I've got some juicy insights just for you today. Now, I know you're busy. I know you are juggling your clients' schedules and supporting launches and, you know, doing all of the jobs that you were actually hired for. And then you get the client coming to you and they go, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I have the best idea. Let's do an event." And, let's just say they're like, I want to do an event for helping us fill the spring program. I want to do an enrollment event, or I want to do an event to increase our retention in our current program and really focus on creating community by just bringing everybody together. And I can probably see and hear your face right now. There's probably this smile, but your brain is starting to like race, and I'm sure there's a mix of feelings. There's, excitement and anticipation, and maybe a bit of dread. I would assume the excitement stems from the opportunity to create and really just execute a successful event that could really significantly impact the business. And you see it and you're super excited with the client. Um, and then there's that anticipation that arises from the challenges and the responsibilities of ensuring that every single detail is handled to just achieve those desired results, all while handling all your other responsibilities that you and the team already have. I get it. It's no small feat. And trust me, I've been in the trenches with you, handling everything from executive tantrums over tablecloth colors to last minute speaker cancellations. Yeah, I've got some stories. I mean, I've I've even had an AV team digging around in a dumpster, but that story in itself is for another day. Remind me to tell you about it. But today, we really are going to focus on something that will make your life a whole lot easier. The questions you absolutely need to be asking your client to help them and essentially you avoid those hair pulling moments. Sound good? Cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So in my career, I've had similar situations where the client comes and they're so excited about their first big event. And this one, we had the venue locked in, we had the speakers, we had the works, we had it all planned. But then 3 weeks out, they suddenly said, you know, I feel like this event isn't shaping up the way I envisioned it. And y'all, I was floored. I'm like, what is happening right now? Well, turns out we never took the time to really dive into what the vision looked like. we were really super focused on the logistics and missed the heart of the whole thing. And what that was for me was really a wake-up call. And since then, I've made it an absolute priority to ask the right questions before a single contract is signed or a date is set. And I want to make sure that I'm sharing with you those crucial questions today. Because if you're going to be a rockstar OBM or an EA, you need to just go beyond just the execution. You really need to help your client clarify what success really looks like for their event. Whether or not you're doing all the things, you want to make sure that you're understanding what success really is. So let's go ahead and dive into it. I like to call these my success defining questions. And trust me, they will save you from a world of headache. So, number one, what is the big picture goal of this event? I also like to look at it as what is the purpose and intention of the event? You know, are they wanting to sell out a program? Are they wanting to build brand awareness? Are they looking to foster a sense of community? Is this a lead generation event? Are they wanting to sell their high ticket offer? Or are we fulfilling upon the promise of the program that you're already running and you already have clients in? But you want to host, let's say, a fulfillment event that is supporting them in getting the results that you guys are wanting to get for them. Maybe it's more of a retreat or a workshop feel, and all you need is support in finding a venue and negotiating a contract. Um, quick story on contracts. Oh my gosh. Contracts right now with venues and hotels is insane. We were just negotiating a contract with somebody, and we go and we redline everything in the contract because the hotel contract is set up for the hotel. It's meant for the hotel. It's safeguarding the hotel. It's all about the hotel. So when we're negotiating a contract with a venue such as that, we're going through and we're adding in clauses, we're adding in noise clauses, we're adding in non-competes where we can ask the hotel and put it into the contract that you don't have two programs running at the same time that are competing, right? Because you don't want your attendees walking over to somebody else's event and so on and so forth. We're just redlining and taking things out. And one of these cases, we ended up taking out just a very simple paragraph. It was maybe 2 sentences out of the contract. We go through, we finalize, we negotiate all of the details. It's signed. We're ready. We're moving forward. And probably 3 weeks after signing the agreement, the venue comes back to us and says, hey, FYI, this is, you need to go ahead and pay this bill. And we were like, the client was like, I don't understand what this is. You need to be talking to Shay and her team anyways, but Shay, here. And I looked at it and I said, no, they're wrong. You don't actually owe that money. And we went back to the contract, the venue, and we said, hey, double check the contract. We don't actually owe you $15,000 right now. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry, that's our normal clause that's in there. I didn't read it. Yeah, you didn't read it because we're safeguarding you and your client on making sure there aren't just frivolous charges in there that you don't need to be paying for, right? So it's like saving $15,000, which was something in there that was in there for no reason other than the hotel wanted to have extra funds just in case you ended up doing X, Y, and Z. So case in point, negotiating contracts, if you know how to do it and you know what you're looking for, fantastic. Otherwise, please feel free to reach out to me and I'm happy to support you. But we want to make sure that we are paying attention to what is the overall big picture goal and the purpose and intention of the event. When we know the goal, when we know the purpose and intention, that's going to shape every single decision from the event format to the type of speakers that you're bringing on board to the food and beverage to the experiences that we're going to be having. So that's your number one. Number two, Let's dig into one of my favorite questions is how do you want your attendees to feel when they walk out of the room? This question is golden, and here's why. It's all about creating an experience that resonates deeply with your attendees, leaving them thinking, wow, that's exactly what I needed. This isn't just about what's on the agenda or who's speaking. It's about the lasting impression you want to make on the people in the room. So think about it. Do you want them walking away feeling energized and ready to take action? If that's the case, then you might want an upbeat atmosphere, vibrant visuals, a high energy speaker who can really deliver those practical takeaways. This means probably choosing a venue to be bright and have like bright lighting and have dynamic stage setups and maybe incorporating some interactive exercises like quick fire breakout sessions or different audience participation. Every element from the music you play as people enter the room to the layout of the seating should be designed to inspire movement and excitement. Now let's look at it from the flip side. Maybe your client wants their attendees to feel nurtured and connected, more like they're part of a supportive community rather than a high energy rally. In this case, you might opt for a venue that has more of a cozy, intimate feel. Think softer lighting, round table setup for collaborative discussions, a lounge, so you can have more of those one on one conversations. The tone of the presentations can be more conversational. And you might include activities like small group reflections or personal storytelling sessions that really encourage vulnerability and connection. But here's the kicker. This desired feeling also informs everything that happens outside of the main sessions. So consider those social aspects of the event. How should the cocktail hour or the networking session feel? Should it be like buzzing and high energy space where people are bouncing around from conversation to conversation? Or should it feel more like a comfortable dinner party where people have, the time and space to really connect? I remember working on an event for a client who said they really wanted their attendees to leave feeling deeply inspired and ready to make significant changes in their lives. They didn't want the event to feel like a pitch fest or just a motivational pep talk. So we adjusted the entire flow. We incorporated moments for reflection and journaling. We added in some mindfulness breaks and even designed the agenda to include intentional pauses for processing the content. The result, attendees didn't just feel they learned something new, they felt seen, heard, and ready to take a new direction in their personal and their professional lives. That's the power of understanding emotional impact and why it's so powerful for you to essentially pull that out of your client, pull that out of the business owner to go, what is it that you really want them to feel when they walk out of the room? So, the next time that you're planning an event, don't just, like I said, think about the logistics and the agenda. Think about the vibe. What's the feeling you want people to carry with them long after they've left the room? Because that feeling, that emotional impact, is what's going to turn a good event into an unforgettable one. And thus they go and talk about it, right? And when you master that, you're not just supporting an event, you're creating an experience that really sticks. And these are the conversations that we have with our clients. And the shift really adds to creating a powerful community, a community where people want to stay, where you're increasing retention and you're decreasing churn. That is being a true partner in their success. And sometimes the business owner is really super excited about what they want to do, but they haven't thought about those little nuances. And that's where we all come in to pull that out of them. So, number 3, what's the budget and where's the flexibility? Yeah, I'm going there because, no matter how grand the vision, we've got to match it with the resources. You got to know where they can stretch and where they absolutely cannot compromise. And this really helps in making the right trade-offs along the way. And sometimes you're the last line and the first line in some respects too, to making sure that the client and the business owner doesn't lose their shirt. So something most business owners aren't aware of is the question, are there actual opportunities to make money at any of their events? Because they want to do all the fancy things and they want to bring in the guest speakers and they want to do all of these pieces. But even and I love this piece, I love showing clients how their fulfillment events can actually become profit centers versus the typical cost centers that they normally are. When you're doing a client fulfillment event, it doesn't mean that you can't either make money or decrease the cost of hosting it and making it a wash. So then essentially you're overall making more profit for the company. And that also makes you an asset for the business owner, right? So if you want more detailed guide on all of these questions, and I also have a few more insider tips, such as who you need on the team to support the event when you have less than 50 people versus more than 50 people. I've put all of this together in a little something for you. Simply head on over to eventfreegift.com and download my initial event planning playbook. It's free and it'll walk you through these crucial questions and the conversations to be having with your clients, making it look like you are the hero that you already are. But I don't want to stop here. Let's take a look at another crucial piece to successful event planning, and that's managing your timelines like a pro. Everybody, we all love timelines. And we also know how they can slip. So it's like we all start with the best of intentions. We'll send out the invitations. We're doing the marketing weeks and months in advance. We want to have the agenda finalized 2 weeks out. And then next thing you know it, you're finalizing the agenda the day before the event. I know, because I've been there. But one of my favorite strategies here is working backwards from the event date. Think of it like reverse engineering. What must be done by when and who's responsible? And then here's the kicker. Add a buffer because something will go sideways. It's an event. It's a live event, whether it's virtual or it's in person, it's live and we're dealing with people. So something will go sideways. You're going to have a speaker that's MIA or a delivery is going to be delayed. Your swag's not showing up. I don't know. Your printer will decide that it's time for a spontaneous vacation. But if you've got that buffer, you're not in crisis mode, you're in control. And that's what your clients are going to remember. And so finally, I want to make sure that we talk about making the call on when to use an in-house resources and all of the team versus bringing in outside help. And I know it can be tempting to keep everything internal to save on costs. And this is a big but, is if you and your team are already stretched thin, is taking on more responsibility actually saving you? Or is it putting the success of the event and frankly your sanity at risk? I've seen so many teams get burnt out because they took on too much. So when in doubt, ask yourself, can my team realistically handle this, or do we need to call in an expert? And it's not a weakness to bring in help. In fact, it's one of the smartest decisions you can make. Your clients hired you to support them. And sometimes that means guiding them to invest in the right expertise. And that's what being a trusted partner is all about. So there you have it. your toolkit for setting up successful event planning conversations with your clients. Ask the right questions, manage your timelines with intention, and know when to call in the experts. If you're ready to elevate your OBM or your EA game, go ahead and grab the initial event planning playbook at eventfreegift.com. I guarantee you it'll help you navigate all of these conversations like a pro. And hey, if you found this episode helpful, do me a favor. Share it with your friends or your colleagues who are also in the event game. Let's keep growing together. And until next time, keep bringing that grace and ease in everything that you do. Take care. Thank you so much for listening to the Creating Powerful Impact podcast. If you are a successful coach, speaker, author, or thought leader who would like to be on this program, simply visit creatingpowerfulimpact.com/guest. If you are someone who got something out of this interview, would you please do me a favor and share this episode on social media? Just do a quick screenshot with your phone and text it to a friend or post it on your socials. Also, if you know somebody that would be a great guest, tag them on social media to let them know about the show and include the hashtag Creating Powerful Impact. I love seeing all of your posts and great guest selections. We are regularly putting out new episodes and content. To make sure you don't miss any episodes, go ahead and subscribe. Your thumbs up, ratings, and reviews go a long way to help promote the show, and they really mean a lot to me and my team. Want to know more about us? Head on over to our website, graceandeaseproductions.com, or follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. Just look for Grace and Ease Productions on your favorite platform. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.